Tonight on Carolina News. South Carolina State could soon be closing their doors for 2 years. What will it mean for the city of Orangeburg?
It'll be a lot of business loss. It'll be a lot.
Invisible Boyfriend. How a new app promises to find you the man of your dreams. And a campus in mourning. The FBI investigates the senseless killing of 3 students.
They leave a scent of flowers and a breeze and a light in our lives.
Live from the capital city, Carolina News brings you your news first. With breaking news and in-depth reporting. Up-to-the-minute weather. And all your sports news and highlights. It's all here, now, on Carolina News.
Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Ashley Oots.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Taylor Rose. South Carolina State students and faculty have been very vocal on the university's shutdown, but will its impact reach further than the campus? Taylor Herlong went to Orangeburg to investigate.
South Carolina State board members have been hard at work coming up with plans to save the university. But they're not the only ones concerned about the school's fate. Pat Bonaparte has worked with B&D Barbecue since it opened. It's her livelihood, and it depends on support from the community.
Would come into restaurants and thing and get their meal, which they, they just love to eat.
Especially here on campus, where on game days, Bulldog Stadium draws thousands to support the team and the community.
They be here knocking on the door. They want their fish.
D&B isn't the only business that will be affected. Shanice Bradley lives in the area and she brings her car here to be cleaned. She says without the university, the area will look a lot different.
If they tear down State, Orangeburg will be nothing. It's like we will be an abandoned town because a lot of businesses and everything will close down if they close down State.
And it's not just about the business. Pat hoped her grandkids would get the experience she never had.
As for me, I never went to college. I finished high school, but I never went to college. My oldest grand, I want to go to State.
For now, that's out of her hands.
So if anyone out there, on the sound of my voice, could they please help us to keep South Carolina State running for the students?
In Orangeburg, Taylor Herlong, Carolina News.
South Carolina State Board of Trustees is currently discussing every financial possibility in hopes of saving the university.
New Englanders are embracing another snowstorm once again. People in the Boston area are still digging out snow from 3 major storms that left 6 feet of snow in the areas. The National Weather Service has already issued a blizzard warning from Cape Cod to the coast of Maine. The blizzard could bring a foot of snow or even more in the New England area. The snow is expected to start falling on Saturday and last until Sunday with temperatures below the teens. Fortunately, the weather is not nearly as bad here in Columbia, but as Cameron Moore tells us, we're in for a cold weekend.
It's chilly outside today with a slight breeze. The skies are clear and sunny. It's a beautiful day out. The highs today are in the mid-40s, and Saturday we'll see highs in the mid-50s. But Sunday temperatures will drop to the 30s and it'll get much, much colder. We'll see a big shift in the weather heading into next week, and I'll tell you about that later in the forecast.
The driver for 60 Minutes correspondent Bob Simon has been suspended as the NYPD investigates the crash that killed the journalist. Abdul Rashad Fadai was driving Simon in a town car Wednesday night. Police say Fadai hit a car at a red light. Then he hit the median barrier. Fadai was hospitalized in stable condition, but Simon died. New York City's Taxi and Limousine Commission says Fadai was driving on a provisional taxi license. His license has been suspended as the NYPD investigates the crash completely. New York Times media columnist David Carr died at age 58 last night after collapsing in the Times newsroom. Carr's death was a total shock as it came just one day after the death of Bob Simon. Here, Carr is speaking just one day before his death on CNN's Anderson Cooper's 360 to talk about the Brian Williams scandal. New York Times editor-in-chief Dean Beckwith said in a memo to staff, quote, "He was the finest media reporter of his generation, a remarkable and funny man who was one of the leaders of the newsroom. He was our biggest champion, and his unending passion for journalism and for truth will be missed. There is currently no indication the death was suspicious."
Domestic violence is an issue that impacts the lives of many people. Although it's widely recognized as a problem that women face, men can be victims too. O'Shea Robinson tells us why the recent tragedy on campus is something we can all learn from.
I pray to God that we never have to endure another day like yesterday.
The tragedy that struck the University of South Carolina's campus last Thursday is proof that men are sometimes victims of domestic violence. According to a study by the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 40% of the victims of severe physical domestic violence are men. I spoke with multiple male students. Many of them admitted to being physically abused. Unfortunately, all of them declined an on-camera interview with me, but Corey Ingram, a violence prevention coordinator on campus, says he may know the reason for this.
The appearance of being weak. Like I said, for a lot of men, the thought process is, as a man, you are taught, you are bred to be strong. And so sometimes seeing that you need, or the perception that you need assistance or help, may give the appearance to other men that you're weak.
Quebec.
All victims of domestic violence are asked to report abuse to local police. Students can visit Sexual Assault and Violence Intervention and Protection behind the Thompson Student Health Center.
Congressional Republicans signed a legislation to approve the Keystone Pipeline today. The formal enrollment of the measure does not mean it will become a law. That decision maker of this belongs to President Obama, who has said he will veto it. The pipeline would carry crude oil from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. Supporters say it will create new jobs, but opponents argue it could harm the environment. If President Obama vetoes the measure, Congress does not appear to have enough votes to override the president.
Rose, look at the OTS.
The Dutch Fork High School student who stabbed a fellow classmate to death last year after a basketball game in a cookout parking lot will not avoid trial for murder. Kieran Dennis's lawyer argued that Dennis was entitled to stand your ground immunity from prosecution in the killing of Devon Capers. Dennis is charged with 1 count of murder and 1 count of possession during the commission of a violent crime. Dennis's lawyer said the stand your ground defense can be used in an appeal if Dennis loses the trial. The South Carolina Senate voted 35-0 to confirm Susan Alford of Irmo as the South Carolina Department of Social Services new director. Governor Nikki Haley nominated Alford to fill the open position after former director Lillian Kohler resigned. Alford has more than 30 years experience in state government and working with at-risk youth, including stints at the Department of Juvenile Justice. During the confirmation process, Alford reassured lawmakers that she will work to bring reforms to the agency, lower child welfare caseloads and turnover, and will tackle any other agency problems that has cost the state millions in fines.
Al Jazeera journalist Mohammed Fahmy walked away from the court after being incarcerated for more than a year. An Egyptian court Thursday ordered Mohammed Fahmy freed ahead of their retrial on charges accusing him of supporting the banned Muslim Brotherhood. Fahmy was released on a bail of $32,750. He was not required to post bail, but is barred from leaving the country ahead of the retrial. The case is scheduled to resume on February 23rd. Coming up after the break, see what phone app is buzzing during this time on Valentine's Day. Then later, a gun range in Las Vegas has a special way of celebrating Valentine's Day.
Have you heard? Scam artists are trying to trick seniors into giving them their Medicare number.
I heard that. This happened to my friend. A man came to her door wanting to sign her up for the new Medicare program. Well, when she got her Medicare summary notice, it was full of charges for services she hadn't received. So I did something about it. I joined the Senior Medicare Patrol, where I teach others to protect their Medicare numbers, review statements to spot false charges, and report suspected fraud.
We're asking folks about marriage.
You know, marriage makes me think of sports. You know, teamwork, dedication.
Okay, let's see what people say.
Let's say your marriage is a sport. What sport would it be?
Basketball. Surfing.
They have to be a team sport.
A lot of back and forth.
A lot of people watching.
So how many people are influenced by your marriage?
Hundreds.
You really think about the ripple effect.
It's like a wave.
Want to improve your marriage? For ideas, go to foryourmarriage.org and message from the Catholic Church.
If I ride, I will know the way the trees smell after the rain. I will grow a heart so strong that hospitals will take Tuesdays off. If I ride, road rage will turn into laughter, and oil tankers will haul chocolate milk. And I won't be a boy or a girl. I will just be a rider.
I love the concept of mentoring because you're really able to make a difference in the life of one young person.
My mentor is a role model for me. She told me about all the opportunities that there is in life.
She has transformed into an amazing young woman, and I feel so fortunate to be a part of that. I think a mentor can really open the eyes of a young person to all the possibilities that are out there for them if they just go after their dreams.
So get involved and do your part. Invest in the future. Mentor a child.
If you're single, the new man or woman of your dreams could be right at your fingertips. A new smartphone app guarantees to find you the perfect match, but there is a catch. Don Log has the story.
Flowers, chocolates, and romantic dates are just a few ways to be showered with love on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is like one of those days where lovers meet, people will reconcile, and just happy at whatever they do.
I feel it's a great day because a guy can buy a woman jewelry, get them happy, make them feel good, and just do crazy stuff for like women that deserve it.
But if you're stuck without a sweetheart, this is not the most exciting time of the year.
Well, I'm sure I would enjoy it more if I had a boyfriend.
That's right. Valentine's Day does not have to be your least favorite holiday anymore. What was once just on the silver screen
You're too funny.
is now a reality, just in time for the season of love. Thanks to the new smartphone app, Invisible Boyfriend, you can invent your perfect other half. Meet Jax Boucher. She's a student at the University of South Carolina. She's 18 years old, single, and enjoys volunteering at the pet shelter. I convinced her to give the matchmaking app a shot. After she filled out a detailed survey, forking over $24.99, Jax was off the market. Meet Jax's new boyfriend. His name is Hunter, he's 21 years old, and a witty texter.
Oh my god, he just texted me. Hey Jax, this is Hunter. Smiley face, how are you?
Although Invisible Boyfriend may not be for everybody, signing up gets you 100 text messages, 10 voicemails, and a written postcard from the man or woman of your dreams, proving the perfect match is just a click away. And while most would agree with Jax's friend, Elise, about serious use of the app,
I maybe recommend some therapy.
the recent growth of interest makes it not so invisible after all. Dawn Log, Carolina News.
That's kind of crazy.
The founders of Invisible Boyfriend, Matthew Howmet and Cal Tabor, hope to add features to the app including gifts to your workplace and flower deliveries.
Well, if your boyfriend or girlfriend is in fact real, you probably are expecting a box of chocolates. Well, there's good news. Spreading the love can actually be good for your heart. Dietitian Tamara Melton says the rich treat has nutrients that can help increase blood flow to your heart. It also helps your body reduce the amount of plaque in your system, reducing the risk of a heart attack or stroke. Melton says eating dark chocolates is the best way to get the most benefits out of these delicious sweets. Well, sometimes Valentine's Day is not the happiest day for people, but a Nevada gun range has just the relief. Machine Guns Las Vegas is offering Divorcee Valentine's Day package. The gun range came up with the idea when a newly separated woman walked in with her wedding dress.
She was like, I want to shoot this thing. I just got divorced. It was ugly. It obviously provided them with some emotional release.
The divorcee will receive a machine gun and be able to bring up to 4 friends. The package is worth $500 and includes an hour at the range with access to the VIP lounge and an especially made divorce sash.
Whatever you do this Valentine's Day weekend, Cameron Moore says be ready for chilly weather.
We're expecting clear and sunny skies today and tomorrow, but that will change. I'll tell you why after the break.
Some people might think that Adrian would never be able to go to college like his brother, or achieve his dream of being an actor. We couldn't disagree more. We're the ARC, and we believe everyone should have the opportunity to realize their full potential. The ARC stands up for those in need, advocating for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
I want to be a professional actor.
So they can be anything they want to be. If you need help, or if you want to help, visit us at www.thearc.org.
I've got my own problems to worry about. Those people in Africa don't want to help themselves. What's the point? Where's the proof? Actually, SMART programs are saving lives. In just 10 years, over 15 million more kids are alive. All for less than 1% of the total U.S. budget. How's that for proof? And today there are new vaccines that could save millions of more kids. Go to one.org and join the movement. We're not asking for your money. We're asking for your voice.
Hello, I'm Dr. Regina Benjamin, U.S. Surgeon General. Breastfeeding is a preventive measure that can protect babies from illnesses and infections, and there are also health benefits for mothers. While 75% of American mothers start out breastfeeding, only 13% of babies are exclusively breastfed at the end of 6 months, and the rates are much lower for African American infants. Whether you're a grandmother or an employer, you can help make it easier for moms to breastfeed. For more information, please go to surgeongeneral.gov.
This neighborhood sure has changed a lot over the years. You know, there was a time when people like me couldn't live here. I will never forget being told I wasn't welcome in this neighborhood. Well, I own this building now. The Fair Housing Act made a difference for someone like me, so I can choose where I want to live, free from discrimination. Glad you could make it. Right this way.
Well, Valentine's Day weekend is here, and I'm really looking forward to wearing my nice dress. Am I going to be able to wear that?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, the temperatures are getting a little bit colder, so we'll see. But right now in Columbia, the temperature is 43 degrees, and winds are south-southeast at 5 miles per hour. So the winds have slowed down a little bit since yesterday and the day before. The humidity is 20%, so it's, again, the humidity is dropping as well. Not as bad. The state temperatures for today are 40 in Greenville, 38 in Rock Hill, 43 in Columbia, 43 in Aiken, 42 in Orangeburg, and 43 in Charleston and Hilton Head, and 39 in Myrtle Beach. So the temperatures are kind of cool, a little bit warmer than last week, but they're going to come back down as the week goes by. So the reason for the clear skies that we've had today is this high pressure system that's been pushing warm temperatures down south. But we do have another low pressure system that is racing down south from the north. And the low pressure system is also going to cause problems for New England. They're going to experience some more snow, which I'm sure they're not excited about. And we might experience some of that as well. We're going to have rain coming up later on next week and possibly some snow on Wednesday. Like I said, that low pressure system is racing down south. By tomorrow, it'll have made its way midway through the country, and it'll create a gust of wind and some more snowstorms up there in the north, and we'll experience some of that cold wind and weather coming down south. Tonight's temperatures are going to hit really low. We're going to have 25 in Greenville, 24 in Rock Hill, 25 in Columbia, 22 in Florence, 25 in Aiken, and then the coast is not going to be too much warmer, but 24 in Myrtle Beach and 29 in Charleston. So the temperatures are going to be really cold and are going to continue to drop. But then tomorrow we're going to have that high pressure system come in and boost up our temperatures a little bit. It'll be 56 in Columbia, and it'll be in the high 50s around the state, which will be nice. And then the 5-day forecast. So Saturday we'll have a high of 58 with, there'll be some more winds, but the skies will be clear and nice. Then Sunday, the temperatures are going to drop and it's going to be really cold. But it is going to be sunny. Then Monday and Tuesday, we're going to experience some rain and temperatures in the low 40s. And then Wednesday, fingers crossed, we experience a little bit of snow, 40% chance there, with a high of 48. So our weather's kind of all over the place. It goes from warm, and then the temperatures are going to drop. We're going to see some rain, and then hopefully some snow. We'll see.
Make sure you bring our jackets out.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, coming up, it's officially baseball season. We'll take a look at Carolina Stadium and see how people are celebrating the return of Gamecock baseball.
It is important for young people to have a mentor in their life.
I would definitely say that I have had an impact on his life, and he's had an impact on my life.
One of the most important lessons that I've learned from Charlie is to make better decisions and take responsibility for what you're going to do.
Think about what you would be today if people didn't go a step out of their way to help you out. And that's really what it's all about.
So get involved and do your part. Invest in the future. Mentor a child.
What if you could ignite your child's love of learning with one after-school program? What if that one program was easy and fun? Destination Imagination is the one. Destination Imagination has taught teamwork, creativity, and problem solving for more than 25 years. A major university study showed our students are ahead of others in creativity and critical thinking. Learn more at startateam.org and make Destination Imagination the one for you.
You can't text and pay attention to the world around you, and you definitely can't text and drive. Every year, deaths due to distracted and negligent driving are increasing. In fact, while drunk driving rates have dropped greatly, negligent driving fatalities have skyrocketed. Find out more at negligentdriving.com.
Well, Gamecock baseball starts today, and I know people are really excited about that.
That's right, Taylor. We saw lots of people getting ready to cheer on our Gamecocks right outside Carolina Stadium. Gamecock fans stood in line for an hour to get tickets and good seats. They expect nothing less than a championship.
We're really excited because we feel like that this is going to be another year to Omaha, so we're here to kick it off.
And of course, what better way to kick off another season of Gamecock sports than a good tailgate? The first game in the series against the College of Charleston started at 4 o'clock. The second one starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. and Sunday's series finale will be at 2 p.m. The Lady Gamecocks pulled a great win against the LSU Tigers. South Carolina ruined their winning streak on Monday when they lost against the Huskies, but they proved last night they still got it. Asia Wilson scored a game and career high, 26 points, helping the Gamecocks build a lead in the first half that LSU couldn't recover from. Women's basketball coach Dawn Staley said despite the loss on Monday, she knows she still has a winning team.
Just because we take a loss, we lose sight of all the wonderful things that we've done over this season, and we're going to continue to progress, and we're going to continue to get better, and not let anything fall apart just because we had a bad night.
The Lady Gamecocks will take on Vanderbilt this Sunday at noon in Colonial Life Arena. The game will be aired on ESPNU. The South Carolina men's basketball team will travel to Kentucky to take on the Wildcats tomorrow. The Gamecocks are currently 12-11 and 3-8 in conference play. The game starts at 2 p.m. and will be shown on ESPN. New York Knicks forward Carmelo Anthony said it's, quote, very likely he will start playing soon. Anthony said he will be playing in Sunday's All-Star game at Madison Square Garden, even if it's just for a few minutes. The Knicks' leading scorer has been dealing with an injured left knee for months. George Karl will become the next coach of the Sacramento Kings. The terms haven't been released, but it should be a 4-year deal worth about $15 million. The Kings will have a formal news conference after the final deal is struck after All-Star Weekend. Former Kings coach Tyrone Corbin was relieved of his duties Thursday, but will remain in an advising role. Ray Rice has issued an apology to his fans. The current NFL free agent apologized for the infamous incidents where he punched his then-fiancée in the hotel elevator. The letter said, quote, there is no excuse for domestic violence, and I apologize for the horrible mistake I made. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Rice was initially suspended for 2 games, but after the video surfaced, he was suspended indefinitely. Rice plans to move to New York and attempt to return to the NFL. Well, I'm glad that the women's basketball team is finally getting it together. It's going to be fun to see them play tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watch them, and hopefully they can pull out that W. Well, coming up next, police in Brooklyn were looking for burglars in a vacant building, but what they found was surprisingly cute. Guys, there are dogs in.
The strongest families are built one moment at a time. For more ways to make every day count, visit facebook.com/makeeverydaycount.
A quarterback, a class clown, a natural leader, someone's son, someone's father, someone's best friend. For those who died in the Vietnam War, the greatest tribute is to see them not just as names on the wall, but as the people they were. The Education Center at the wall will put faces to the names. It will preserve photos, letters, and mementos of veterans, so their stories and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Call or click now. Help us build it.
I worry about my boyfriend. One minute he's supportive, the next minute everything is my fault. After he's had too many beers, he gets really angry and I become the target. My best friend, a social worker, told me to try Al-Anon family groups. It was a great relief to hear a new perspective for my problems. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon family group meeting from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
Well, officers in Brooklyn got a call about a burglary at a vacant building, but when they went to investigate, they found 8 puppies in a cage in the top floor bedroom, and all 8 of them were wearing sweaters. The pups were taken to the ASPCA, where workers took care of them. They have been since medically cleared and are ready for adoption. No word on how they got in the building or who the owner was. Well, you know how much I love dogs and sweaters.
Well, yeah, apparently according to Camlin, you actually can buy your dog a sweater for the cold weather this weekend.
Yeah, you'll definitely need to bundle up, and if you take your dog out for a walk, bundle them up as well. The 5-day forecast again. So Friday, temperatures are going to be 45 degrees. There's, again, going to be a gust of wind coming through, but the skies are going to be clear, just a little bit cloudy. Same with Saturday, but temperatures are going to get a little bit warmer. And then as we get to the end of the weekend, it'll get lower. It's going to get very cold, possibly some rain and some snow. And that's all we have for today.
All right, that's all the time we have today. Thanks for watching.
Have a great day.